Hello, everyone, and happy 2022. It's WDW Happy Hour. I just developed an accent. I'm Catherine.
Is that Scottish?
Yes, it is happy. And I'm here with my fellow podcast members, Holly.
Hello.
Rob.
Greetings.
Scott.
Hello.
And Matt.
Hi there. You went counterclockwise.
I did. I sometimes like to switch it up.
Wow.
So we have our year in review show for you, which we always really like. It's become a tradition on this podcast. But as we do, we are going to start off with Topping It Off, where we pick a Disney drink from somewhere around the world or land to highlight and kind of do a mini review of. And Rob, you're the first Topping It Off of 22.
A lot of pressure.
Yeah, don't screw this up.
So this is a new place, both in Disney World and that we've never been to as far as Topping It Off.
Wow.
Steakhouse 71 and the Pear French 75 is the drink. Pear French 75. So it's Cavassier BS Cognac, pear nectar, agave syrup, lemon juice, and Prosecco.
Ooh.
Yes. So it comes in, I don't know if anybody knows what kind of glass that is.
Is that a...
It's martini adjacent.
Yes.
what the hell is that called?
It's like a soft martini.
No, it's whatever. I once knew.
Much like yours last time, the strawberry feel,
Yeah.
it was okay.
Yeah.
I thought it would be much more pear forward. Thinking the pear martini is that what it is
Oh
from?
my gosh, Carthay Circle.
yeah.
Oh, that might be the best drink.
Yeah.
But
in
this
the world.
this was light on the maybe it's
What'd you taste? The citrus? More lemony?
Yeah, just like not. It just didn't taste like sugary because
Okay.
of the agave syrup. It's fine. It's a good. We had lunch there. It was a good lunch drink. Nothing heavy.
Yeah.
You know, like a. So it was enjoyable. I'd get it again probably.
Yeah.
When we did go last time, though, I did have beer, but that was
Yeah.
just. I was planning on drinking beer that whole day, so.
The marathon, not the sprint.
Correct. So yeah, the Pear French 75.
Awesome. Do you know how much that was?
It is $14 as
Okay.
of October 13th.
Okay. All right. Well, good one. Good one.
Yep.
All right, so we are not going to kick it to Rob in a historical moment of this podcast. We do not have any news. I guess everyone was off over the holidays. We don't have any major news stories to talk about, but that's fine because this topic usually takes us a while. So as a reminder, this is our year in review, where we talk about our favorite things that we experienced this year. And
Last year.
I haven't been right in the 21. Which I feel like in general, just to say as an overarching theme, I feel like it was a better year this year than it was the year before. And one of us hadn't been to the parks last year, so we got Scott back to the parks. We're vaccinated. We're ready to go. As we always do, our tradition is before we get started, we review our goals from last year. So at the beginning of 2021, we said we wanted to do some things. And Matt, I know you know what yours is because you guessed the other day, and I was like, yeah, you're right. So do you want to tell me what yours is? Do you know? Or
No, I have no idea.
Okay, never mind. Maybe we didn't talk about this.
I don't think we did.
Okay.
You making this up.
Okay. Well, why don't you have a guess?
For what?
What your goal for 2021 was?
No idea. No.
Okay. Scott, do you know yours?
I would say I probably wanted to do a Run Disney race.
Okay.
always say
Rob, do
that.
you know what yours was?
I'm thinking I would have said something along the lines of stay at the yacht because I think that was the only deluxe we hadn't stayed at that point.
Okay.
I think I know mine actually, but it's probably the same as my 2022 goal because I didn't, if I'm thinking what I think it is, I probably have not done it to this point.
Holly, do you know what yours was?
I'm thinking it has to do with yours.
Okay. And I think I would have guessed Disneyland was part of mine, but not in totality. None of us got like fully, totally correct answers here. Matt, yours was Disneyland and DCA in 2021, which you did not achieve.
Right.
Scott, yours was pretty low hanging fruit. If you wanted to ride Rise of the Resistance,
Okay, did
you
that.
wanted to park hop,
I did
which
that.
we got back this year, which was a highlight, and you just wanted more normal.
Oh, well, I got that once.
Rob, you wanted Disneyland.
Oh,
Holly, again, I think this is pretty low hanging fruit because I knew that you would achieve this. Any Disney park. You wanted to go to any Disney park. And I was Disneyland and I was Disney World without a mask, which I got for one trip this year.
Better than nothing.
Yeah.
Better than nothing.
Better than a poke in the
and
eye.
dang, thankfully that was July because it was brutally freaking hot.
It was.
Yeah.
Yikes.
So while we're on the subject of goals slash, things we want to achieve in 2022, we're making our vision board. Matt, do you want to start off with what is your goal for 2022 when it comes to Disneying?
Yeah. Well, I guess I was right with my my prophecy for what my reverse prophecy. My goal for next year is to visit Disneyland and DCA. And it was the same as last year. I didn't get to do it in 2021. I'm hoping to make that a reality in 2022 in some capacity. I haven't been to the West Coast in a hot minute.
It's D23 this year, right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the plan.
So that lines up.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean,
Yeah, who knows?
Hopefully, you
Yeah.
never know.
Scott, what's your goal for 2022?
Well, I said I would like to go on more trips than I did in 21.
And how many did you have in 21?
Just two.
Just two. You
So,
had a big July.
yeah.
We had a big
Big July and a big
July almost seems
October.
like forgettable because it was so hot that we did
Ugh.
so little things.
We had a lot of points during that trip where we were pretty miserable just
Yeah.
because of the heat. And that was a fun group,
and
but
that with
Oh yeah, I was gonna say. Oh, you were miserable.
wow, that's right.
I had the
forgot.
worst.
we were a lot of
Disinfection.
We were a lot of broken soldiers on that trip. We had a finger injury. We had general heat exhaustion. We had maybe the worst sinus infection in the land.
Didn't have COVID, but it did. This sinus infection knocked me out for a full week, and
But
I did not get to go to
still,
the parks.
It was one of my favorite all-time Disney trips.
It was very
Really?
fun.
Oh wow.
It was very fun. Hey, you got like a few days. You got like 3-4 days, which hey,
I don't
bet
want to
lot
say
of
there's a
people would-
correlation betwing me not being there for most of the trip and this being your favorite.
I can't wait until we get to our favorite memories.
Maybe that's why. I was
gonna say.
Kidding.
Causation.
I kid.
All right, so Rob, you're up next, right?
yeah.
For what's your goal for 22?
Mine's pretty simple. I want to visit / maybe stay at the Swan Reserve.
Oh.
Oh, that's a good one. Good one.
Yeah.
Good one. Good answer. Good
None of
answer.
us have been there yet.
That's true.
We are huge fans of the Swan and the Dolphin, so we'll go with that one.
Yeah, I like that. Holly, what is yours?
I would like to get out west.
Okay. Yeah.
In general, Disneyland, DCA, check out Adventures Campus.
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
Oh my gosh, I forgot that there. I mean, that place has to look very different from the last time we were there.
Yeah.
Mine is the same as Holly and Matt. I would like to go to Disneyland next year.
Like our
Yes,
like our
yes. And next year, why not? I love.
gold searching forefathers, we long to go
We're gonna
west.
be the 49ers. All right, so we're gonna continue in our clockwise circle here, and our next category is the biggest Disney disappointment. So Scott, why don't you start us off for this one?
Okay, well, I had two here, so hopefully I won't steal. One of them is more general, one of them is more specific. The thing I listed first was the continuing degradation of service and departure from many of the things that made us love Disney in the first place.
Okay.
So that's my general one. More specifically,
God, that is just a
Bleak,
really
that's
rough
bleak.
sentiment in general.
am I wrong? I mean,
No, I mean you're not wrong. It's just
Okay,
it's
well-
just pretty rough.
yeah, I'm laying it out there. The second one was I kind of felt like Space 220 was a bit of a disappointment.
Okay.
I just feel like they could have done more with the presentation of space than the things that we discussed previously of like the, GIF
Yeah.
spacemen floating around, and
I feel like this one probably suffers from high expectation. for
It
you,
does,
too,
yeah.
because You were
Really high
so
expectations for
excited
this.
for that.
but it's also like a Windows 95 version of space. So,
Yeah.
you know,
It looks like what you would see if you searched outer space on Encarta.
yes, precisely. So that was a bit of a disappointment for me.
Okay. That's fine. That's fine. All right, Rob, what is your disappointment of the year?
So mine is is in that general area. I wrote just how much the parks have become unenjoyable from an attraction standpoint. Mm-hmm. So still enjoy the Epcot festivals, the bars, the restaurants, the lounges, all that stuff. But just if getting on attractions is your main goal, it's just not fun anymore.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. All right, Holly, what was your biggest Disney?
Very similar to Rob, but like just in general, the rise in prices.
Okay. Yeah. I think that ties Rob and Scott's.
Yeah.
And I think to your point,
And
if
cast members, like,
if the prices had gone up and the service went up too, and like you had more to do and there wasn't waits, you'd probably be like, okay, I can understand. But it's the rise in prices and the decrease in a lot of the
yeah.
stuff.
All right, I was pretty specific for this one. Genie Plus.
Ooh.
I mean, I don't know at the beginning of this year if we were really, or of 2021, we were really expecting it, but it's a fail. It's a fail. Like, I mean, just with the timing and how you have to plan your day, and it's the marketing of increased flexibility, but actually not increased flexibility, because you have to stay at one park the whole time, or you have to plan ahead, or you can only do so many attractions because everything is already booked. But for me, it's the Genie Plus.
I'll have mine just how I wrote it, and I wrote, annual passes are back. Oh, cool, they're awful. So we got psyched that annual passes return for Walt Disney World, and they're increasing in prices for most of the tiers, if you're comparing them, and they're stupid names, which I'm not even going to get into, the
Pirate
freaking
Pass?
Pirate Pass, the Sorcerer, the Incredi Pass, but you're looking at least, when you're comparing the previous ones that were available, you're looking at $200 increases at least across the board. Plus, it doesn't include the water parks in any of them. Those are add-ons. It doesn't include PhotoPass anymore. Those are add-ons. So it was like, we were excited, like, oh, cool, people can get annual passes again. And it was just immediately disappointing, because it was like, oh, it's more money, and, for what? For
More
what?
money for
How are you
what?
improving the park experience?
Right. All right. Well, that was a
Good.
positive note.
Really great. Really like this.
All right. So, Rob, let's start with you with your redemption of the year.
Okay, so people probably don't know that I wasn't a big fan of this, but Kilimanjaro Safaris was never. I always felt, could take it or leave it. Just went with the group to do it. But every time I did it this past year, it was like an awesome experience. Just saw a lot of stuff. The animals were. And I know it's hit or miss just from you're dealing with live animals, but I don't know. Each one was very unique. I think I did about 3 or 4 times this past year. So Kilimanjaro Safaris was redeemed.
Okay. That's a good one. All right, Holly, what was your redemption?
All right, my redemption was the Skyliner, because when it first opened, I was not a fan of being, like, in general, like, it just gave me anxiety. Mm-hmm. Just being in a bucket, dangling, like, hanging above. But I feel like the more trips I was on, I got on more and more. I've become more comfortable. Now it's like, oh, let's just hop the Skyliner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like
That
that's
definitely.
redeemed it for me personally.
Yeah. I feel like the Skyliner became way more functional in my mind this year. Like, and it's just the passage of time that, like, when it first opened, it was like, oh, let's do the Skyliner. Like, it was intentionally, like, a ride just for fun. But now I think this past year, it was definitely more functional as far as, like, just a good form of transportation. My redemption of the year was Space 220. We talked about this a little bit on our last podcast.
But Catherine, how could something that's a new restaurant be a redemption?
So we went twice. We went once in October, and then we went once again in December. And I just really liked the lounge experience. I just felt like it was less pressure. It was less money. You could choose what you wanted as far as the menu goes, and you didn't have to get all that food. Because the first time I ate there, I was in a food coma. It was a day ruiner. And our reservation was at like 3:30. So that was the rest, like half of a day, I was out of commission because of Space 220. But yeah, it was a way better experience for me.
Mine was also Space 220 as my
sorry.
redemption. No, you're good. You're good. Yeah. For the things you already said, I just found that the prefix menu was a little too much. I thought that the lounge was perfect. I know that that is limited availability and it's kind of luck of the draw if you can get a lounge reservation, but I found that experience so much better, so much less pressure to eat myself sick and not really enjoy it. So yeah, Space 220.
All right. And
right.
Scott, redemption?
I'm going to be a little bit of a Debbie Downer, I think. I feel like everything either got the same or worse than it was before.
You have no redemptions.
I really racked my brain on this.
You're rough.
Jeez,
Tell us
man.
how you really feel.
Well, no, I mean, I couldn't think of anything that I thought was bad before that is good now.
Well, maybe that's just because you had a positive attitude before.
Maybe I
It
did,
just
yeah.
stayed good.
You know, so I don't
fine.
I don't think there was anything that I was really hitting hard that I was like, oh yeah, it turned it around.
Okay. That's fine. All right, so let's do cast member of the year. And Holly, we're going to start with you.
All right, I'm gonna go to Geyser Point.
Oh,
Vicky. Vicky at Geyser Point was amazing. Super friendly. Very. Like, she took care of us. I mean, we were there for like what, 3-4 hours.
yeah.
So
Yeah, she was great. Matt, do you want to do yours? You want to skip over me?
Yeah, I was also Vicky at Geyser Point. It was between this and we had another really great cast member experience at Disney Springs, but I went with Vicky. I was having a work experience. I was having a work emergency during this. I was like on the phone with people, and I was like freaking staring at my phone trying to like figure things out. But Vicky was like super attentive, and she was like, it's a perfect balance of I don't want a server or bartender who's like on my ass. Like, I want you to like be attentive, but then I want you to like know when it's time to like bow out and leave me alone. And she was like tread that line absolutely perfectly.
She did.
And she knew the menu, she had good recommendations, she was super friendly. So yeah, Vicky was awesome.
All right, I'll go back to myself now. All right, in July, I guess it was my first time there because I've now been every trip I've made returning. I went to the Boathouse for the first time, and while that was a highlight in general, but our waitress, the first time I went to the Boathouse, was a woman by the name of Kim.
Oh,
And
yeah.
she was outstanding. She gave us her card, told us to call and ask for her if we wanted a seat. You were with us.
Yeah.
She was amazing.
She was great.
Offered a lot of alternatives on the menu. Like, I think I talked about this when we did our trip review, that their burgers and crab cakes are the size of a plate. Like, that's like the size of a small plate. And
Did
that's,
she lose Scott's credit card?
No. Well, she thought she did, but she
Right,
didn't
no, I mean,
actually.
like, not like forever,
She
but
was
like,
great.
she was like, at the end of it,
Like,
she
did I
was
see your
like,
credit card back? And I was like, no.
and she was like, oh god,
Hang on.
she found it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's all good.
she was great. She gave us the burgers and the crab cakes way too huge. She said you can get the exact same meals as like a child size, which is probably just like a regular portion and not like giant. So good. Really loved her. Super attentive. Great. Recommendations too. So, Scott, who was yours?
Mine, I said and I'm terrible with names, so I have no idea what their names are, and I apologize for that. It was the crew at Enzo's Hideaway, the night that we went there with like 14 people,
Yeah.
and all sat at the bar.
Yeah.
And
What were their names? It was two bartenders.
yeah,
They
I
were really
do
good.
not know.
Matt was the one who like gave kudos
But they
to their manager.
Oh, yeah.
took our pictures. They did a great job of serving everybody kind of at the same time.
And they were closing.
It was late. It was late. Yeah.
we were there for last call, which is something that like usually servers can, be a little testy around.
But I thought that was a very fine experience that I would love to have again.
Yeah. All right, Rob.
I should say when I do these lists, it's so difficult, especially when you've been there recently, to not
Pick
reflect
that,
on
yeah.
those
Oh
moments.
yeah, recency bias is
Yes.
tough with this.
But this one is from October. Oga's Canteen,
Oh,
and standing
yes.
at
Yes.
Catherine
Even-
and I ended up there, and we stood at the end of the bar where the orders come in, and the bar backs / bartenders just chatted with us the entire
Every
time.
single one. It was like
Yeah.
the whole staff of Oga's Cantina was so nice to us.
At one point, about 4 or 5 servers came over. Remember, because
Yes.
you were there earlier in the day. So it was just. I think.
I have a problem.
But yeah, that was just really enjoyable. Just
They were.
And-
That was like firing on all cylinders. Every single one of those waiters was like absolutely great. Like everyone was coming out, and it was just like I felt like I was in the Truman Show at that time. It was like everyone's so nice.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a good one. All right. So next category is the biggest surprise, the
I like this
smallest expectation. Mine is one that I don't know. I feel like I might have a repeat with someone at this table. Rob, do you think yours and mine are the same?
I literally don't have anything right.
Oh my gosh.
Well, then I
have
would
it-
guess
I
that-
have your
no.
answer then.
Okay.
Pizza al taglio in Epcot. The pizza window in the back. It is crispy pepperoni, really reasonably priced, quick service, just like a great snack in Epcot if you don't want to wait for the kiosk. That's probably happening at this very moment. Those are long lines in the Italy Pavilion for some reason, but I think we still waited quite a little while in the back, but the food was really good. For what you got, what a value. I'm delicious.
Good one. Good one. I'm gonna head over to Animal Kingdom, and guys, I'm going with Kite Tails. Like, it was a surprise because, like, I knew it would suck, and it did, but I didn't realize how enjoyable it would be to watch it suck. And I think that Disney now has leaned into that, but when we went to it for the first time, Disney wasn't yet playing into the fail factor of it, which made it even more exciting because I was like, they can't be serious with this. So it felt like you were watching a disaster.
King Louis gonna crash. Oh, he
And
didn't.
like now they've like come out and like leaned into it because the, TikTok, it's been so TikTokable of the, and I feel like we've talked about this on the podcast before, but Kite Tails is the water, I don't even want to call it a spectacular. That's not.
show. It's
It's a show. It's a water show with these balloons of characters in Animal Kingdom, and they just like, they look terrible flying around, being pulled by jet skis. They then crash into the stands. It's ridiculous, and I really enjoyed it. It's a great show to grab a drink from
Yeah,
like one of the
and it's
nearby
quick.
kiosks, pop a squat, hang out, and watch some of these stupid balloons fly around. It's great.
All right.
Good call.
Scott,
All right.
what was your biggest
Well,
surprise?
I'm gonna give a little bit more love to Italy and Epcot and say the gelato stand was a surprise to me.
Oh, banging.
Yeah, right.
Even through a torrential downpour.
It didn't dampen my spirits.
Dampen.
Had that cream of grandpa or whatever it was.
Grandpa's boot.
Grandpa's
Yeah, what was
It
it?
was like-
it was
grandpa's
something-
cup.
shoe.
Something.
Grandpa's cup.
I don't remember what that is.
Copa de Nono.
Yeah, that was what it was. Copa de Nono. And that was outstanding. I highly recommend it.
Okay. All right. I don't think we give
Grandpa's cup.
We
Love the
don't-
Grandpa's cup, sir.
we don't give a lot of love to the Italy Pavilion, so here we are. All right, Rob. What? Oh, you didn't have one.
No, but so the thing I was leaning towards when I thought about this, and it's more negative, But
Surprise can be positive.
the surprise is that Disney finally seems to be reaching the critical mass point of criticism, and people just not accepting it.
The noodles at Ohana?
Just them bowing to some of the social media pressures of they know Bob Chapek's not highly regarded.
Right.
I mean, he cancels the D23
Appearance.
event. Yeah. They take down those videos for the Star Wars cruise thingy. So I'm just surprised that it's finally gotten to that point. I just thought that they were kind of immune to that. So, but yeah, the pizza, from a positive standpoint, the pizza was good. And
pizza,
not that this was a surprise because I believe your recommendations, but it lived up to the hype. Was the ice cream sandwich,
the brioche.
The brioche.
I still never have gotten one of those because
it's
they're
good.
always sold out.
Yeah, get there early.
Wow. Okay. Holly, what is your biggest
All right,
surprise?
so for me, this one, I went in with very low expectations hearing you guys talk about it. Mm-hmm. So I did not have high expectations. Space 220 was a surprise for me. It was my first time.
We did knock it pretty hard after July.
We did, yeah.
Yeah, so that's why I was like, oh, okay, I'm listening. I had a really great experience there. I did enjoy
Your
it.
first experience was at the lounge, though.
Yeah,
You
I was
benefited.
gonna say,
October,
like,
we
the
knocked it off
lounge
to
experience was really great. The food was great. The drinks were great. Theming, I enjoyed the theming. They could do maybe a little bit more with it, but overall, it was a big surprise for me. I enjoyed it. I liked it.
Good.
So
All right. Okay, so our Disney drink of the year. Matt, you're up with this one. I think that's a good segue, right?
Yeah, I'm doing one that I was going to wait and put it as a topping it off. And you know what? I'm still gonna use it for a topping it off in the future. I'm not waiting. This was when I had it. I was like, this is quite possibly the best drink I've ever had on Disney property. This is so good, and it is at Space 220. It's the Red Star. It is Jameson Irish whiskey, dragon fruit, fresh lemon, and onyx, which is a coffee liqueur. It is, my God, it is so freaking good.
Would you say it was slamming?
It was slamming.
was it out of this world?
He uses banging more.
No, Onyx. There.
Let the boys be boys.
That's a deep 90s rap reference.
Yeah, that's for like the 5 people who are like, oh yeah, I'm a big Onyx fan. Yeah, it was slamming. Yeah, the Red Star, it was incredible. Really good.
Interesting.
All right, Scott, what about you?
I believe mine actually has been a topping it off in the past. That is the Duck Duck Raz from the Boathouse. It comes with a duck, guys, and it's
Not a real
delicious.
It's so strong.
No, it's a real duck.
Oh no.
It's living in my backyard now.
It's super strong.
Oh my!
It is, and it's delicious.
It is delicious. It's like the Boathouse's signature drink. All right, Rob.
Yeah, mine was also topping it off. The Grand, not with the D, Grand Gin Tonic, which was Dahlia Lounge at Coronado Springs, their version of a gin and tonic. What made this different was the Sapphire Orange Tonic that they used. Incredibly delicious. Huge pour. Got to go back for it.
I love the Dahlia Lounge.
Yeah. So...
All right, mine is also a future topping it off, but I don't want to go too much into mine.
Okay.
Just name it.
But it's at Steakhouse 71, and I got a highball.
Ooh.
And this was probably one of the best highballs I've ever had.
There you go.
So, and that's all I'm going to say.
Okay,
I'm
all
saving
right.
it.
I just realized after you guys all said you did yours for topping it off, I've not done this one, but it's a little generic, and I feel like at least most of us at this table have had it. I truly chose this because I think it's the drink I had the most of this year, and I loved it, and I missed it every time prior to this year. Enzo's Hideaway's Sangria is the best sangria on property, in my opinion, and it is chef's kiss. Enzo's Hideaway Sangria. All right. Now we're on to best Disney movie. Scott, you want to start us off?
Okay. I thought it was a little bit lean this year, but Luca I thought was probably the best of
I
them.
forgot about Luca.
Yeah, Luca was good. It's cute.
Yeah, it was just enjoyable. The music was kind of fun. It was rewatchable.
All right, Rob.
I only watched one Disney movie this year, so it was good. Jungle Cruise.
Oh yeah.
So that's all I watched thus far.
You didn't see Luca?
Nope, didn't watch
Oh my
anything.
gosh, it's
Didn't
really
watch
good.
any of them.
See, I fell asleep during Luca.
Oh, I loved it.
I need to rewatch. I went with the Jungle Cruise.
So good.
Yeah.
I went with the Jungle Cruise as well.
I also went with the Jungle Cruise, and I don't like the lackluster leaning into
I
it
was
from
giving
Rob.
I was giving it to you to
Because
talk about.
I loved the Jungle Cruise. I thought that it was excellent. I thought that it's just like a perfect action comedy. They leaned into like the slapstick comedy of it all. The Rock was great. Emily Blunt was great. Colorful cast of characters. Great set pieces. I thought it was like, and I'm not a huge fan of Pirates of the Caribbean films. Like the first one's okay. Like that's about it. After that, it kind of drops off for me. I thought it did as an action comedy movie, obviously based on a Disney franchise and ride. I thought it did everything that the Pirates movie does, just better. Funnier, better action segments. I thought it was awesome.
What else did we have that we didn't list? We had
Shang-Chi.
Raya and the Last Dragon.
That
All
was
of the
good.
Marvel movies, people are probably
Shang-Chi.
screaming
You like
into
Cruella.
I liked Raya.
the
Yeah.
newest Spider-Man movie,
Oh,
which apparently none of us have seen, and
Nope.
people are probably yelling into their
Yeah, I
headphones
have.
right now.
I have not. I refuse to see it in the movie theater anymore. I'll wait for it to come to streaming. I don't care.
And Kanto is now out for.
Oh, I heard that is excellent.
Yeah, I did too.
I mean, there was Black Widow, Shang-Chi, The Eternals, and Spider-Man No Way Home, of which I saw none of them.
Chung-Chi really surprised me. I really enjoyed that movie a lot.
I heard.
It was good.
My only knock on Jungle Cruise, and I say this about 90% of movies I see,
Too long.
it was 20 to 30 minutes too long.
I thought
That's
it was
all.
great.
There's sequences.
Wasn't Cruella this year too?
Yep.
Yes.
Raya and the Last Dragon, which I freaking hated.
Yeah, I did too.
God, I hated
I
that.
liked it all
I
right.
didn't enjoy that one.
What else?
Well,
I think that's about it. I mean, that's you covered the Marvel.
Soul came out Christmas of 2020.
Yeah, that was already
We
out.
probably had already recorded.
There were no new
So.
Star Wars movies this year, which is notable.
rare. All right. Okay, so our next category is favorite new thing. So Rob, you're up.
Yeah, this one, it probably could have been biggest surprise too because I went in with little to no expectations. Ratatouille in the French Pavilion. Really enjoyed it. It's just it's funny that I'm knocking attractions and everything, and then this ends up being the two of my things are
Kilimanjaro
attractions. So
Safari.
I don't contradict myself at all. But this was just enjoyable. Give me the virtual queue for the foreseeable future, and I'll do it each time I'm in Epcot. But
Yep.
really enjoyed it.
All right. Good one. Holly, what's yours?
Mine was also the ride Ratatouille as well.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I mean,
I
Great.
truly enjoyed. I mean, you can't unsee the fact that the carts have human faces, but
other than that,
it's a great ride. Cute.
all right. I went more food here. I think a place that we've at least gone to or tried to get into every time we've been to Disney Springs, Gideon's Steakhouse.
Yeah.
I mean, we had a group of like 14, 15 go in that place in October, and everyone came out of there just like, oh my gosh, I'm taking these home. Oh my god. Like, I mean, really, Gideon's is so good. So, yeah.
I had a few on here. Ratatouille was on there. I'm going to say a Disney Plus release, and that would be The Beatles Get Back. A lot of people have criticized this for its length. It is, all told about 8 hours in 4 installments.
3.
I would have watched 20 hours of this. It's better if you look at it almost from the view of a historical document and not even really a documentary. It's as close as you can get to being a fly on the wall as 4 music legends inadvertently make history. It was awesome. And I have an honorable mention on the food front to something that I feel like I stumbled across, and it's awesome. It is in Disney Springs. It's tucked away behind Splitsville, and that's Everglazed donuts and cold brew.
Yeah.
Man, those donuts, whew, they are banging.
So would you prefer Gideon's or Everglazed?
It depends. I think that those fit two different those hit two different sweet spots. Like sometimes you want a cookie, sometimes you want a donut. Sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't. But I had Gideon's in 2020, so it didn't qualify.
No, you didn't, because
Really?
it wasn't open in 2020. It opened in like a year ago today. It was
Okay,
like
so
the
it
very beginning of January.
I feel like so there's the recency bias again.
Okay. I'm just curious. That's
Yeah, the first time we had it was our trip in May, and we brought home a box. I think, I mean, I never got my own donut at Everglazed, but I just think the cookies keep better.
The cookies
Like,
definitely
I
keep.
could take
sure.
one of those cookies and eat it over a 5-day period where I could not do the same for a donut.
And I think a donut just
And they travel well.
by nature doesn't age as well as a cookie.
That's true.
But
I'm picking Gideon's 10 out of 10 times.
Yeah,
but that's
me
just
yeah,
that's just
I
me.
probably would too. But
And that's not a knock on Everglazed
But
great,
either.
though.
you could get into Everglazed this last time, and you
Right.
couldn't get into
yeah,
Gideon's.
true,
That's-
too.
yep.
So
Yep.
that's good. All right, Scott, your favorite new thing?
Mine is also food, and mine is one that I would pick 10 out of 10 times
Oh, I know
over
what this is.
Gideon's. It is the creme brulee at Steakhouse 71,
Oh,
which I have
Jesus.
mentioned before. It is the best dessert on property, full stop.
Okay.
Delicious.
I think you've gone as far as saying this may be the best dessert
I've ever
you've
had.
ever had
It's-
anywhere.
it's very possible. Highly possible.
Wow.
The end.
Wow. That's nuts. All right, so next up we have best food experience. So we might have some repeats here. So Holly, we're going to start with you.
All right, I'm gonna take us over to the Grand Floridian, and I chose Narcoossee's.
Ugh.
Oh, I forgot that was this year. Oh my gosh, that's one I was like,
And her first time.
And my
Right.
first time.
what
First time going there. It was amazing. Wonderful food, drinks.
When was
Can't
that?
complain.
I mean,
Yeah.
when did you do that?
It was like the last day.
of July, because
Yeah.
it was the only day he could really
Oh,
go
right,
out.
right.
Yeah, it was
Everybody
after
left
8
Sunday.
days of death.
Okay, yeah,
Everyone
yeah.
left on Sunday, and we had that reservation Sunday night. The
And
four
we
of us
left
were still-
Monday.
Yeah, we went to Trader Sam. Dang.
Yep.
That was a great dinner.
Mine is one particular food item. I read this as, and this is something I got in July, and then I went back in August and got it nearly immediately again, and now every time I get it, like I have to text one of our friends. That is the loaded fries at Splitsville. Those fries
Oh, they're incredible.
are so good. They're crinkle cut with a nice distribution of cheese and bacon over everything, and it's not like, it's like a thinner cheese, so it gets all over everything, and you don't feel like it gets congealed and you can't get it. It's on every fry. They do it well. I love those fries. Yep, loaded fries at Splitsville.
Nice. I went with a more general one, and my best food experience was at the Boathouse in general in Disney Springs. I've had multiple items here. Their signature burger is incredible. As Catherine said before, there's kind of a hack if you get a kids version, because I believe it's a smash burger and it's a double patty, but the kids version is just one.
Don't speculate. I think it's two, but it's just small.
It's just smaller.
Yeah.
I had the lobster roll, which was excellent. They have that pimento cheese dip.
I love that cheese.
I like the
too.
ambiance. I like the outdoor seating, indoor seating. I just think that
You
it
like
is.
it all.
I like it all. I just had such. I've been there multiple times this year, and each time was fantastic.
All right.
I also said the Boathouse, so for many of those same reasons, but I would almost
Dr.
say
Grass.
yeah. And the lobster roll, I had that the second time I was
Didn't
there.
you get a? What did you get? Did you get a steak
You got
something?
filet sliders. The
Yeah,
first time.
Yes.
and the lobster bisque. Didn't love the lobster bisque, but the rest of it I really loved.
Yeah, I remember those fillet sliders.
I think I got the lobster bisque when we were there in October, and I did like.
Did like it. Okay,
Yeah,
well,
I did like
okay,
it.
could just been a bad day for me, but
Bad
no,
batch.
that Boathouse, we went there twice this year, and it was worth every minute.
Yeah, love it there. Rob, what you got?
This probably don't even remember that we went there. But Shula's Steakhouse at the Dolphin was fantastic. The steak, I judge everything based on the ribeye. Next to Steakhouse 55, which is now defunct, this would take top billing as the best ribeye I've had.
Now, is the ribeye your favorite cut of steak?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah, I switched from the filet. I did the ribeye. The first time was at Steakhouse 55, and now it's fattier,
Sure
but
is.
it's just it tastes better in my opinion. There's nothing wrong with the filet, but I like the ribeye. So this place is great. I love the ambiance in there. Our server was really, he reminded us of our friend David.
Yes. I remember you
So
saying
it was
that.
just it was really good. That's not much more to say.
Nice.
All right. So we are on to our next category, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So we now have the best kiosk item from Epcot, a festival. Is it my turn?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Filibuster.
I have to go for this because I was just doing the same math of what did I get the most. I got the lobster roll the most. I mean, I had some hit and misses even within the lobster roll, but for me, that's always consistent. That it's usually good.
It's food and wine, correct?
It can be anything.
Uh-oh.
I just saw the. Oh, you mean my lobster roll?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, I thought you meant what festival are we picking from, and I was like,
No. I meant
it's food
your
and wine.
item
Yes,
specifically.
my item is food and wine. Yes. Yeah. How about you?
I did happen to go with both food and wine items, but not. I knew I had my entire all the festivals at my disposal. I always get like the same things anyway, and I've gotten this basically since Flavors from Fire was a thing. They have terrible, stupid. You can't even call them puns for the food names, but I'm talking about the Chimichurri Up offense, which is it's chimichurri steak on this smoked corn cake. It's got this vegetable slaw and the cilantro aioli. It is so good. So good. Also, always honorable mention to the Guinness Bailey Shake in Ireland.
Oh, yeah.
That's a goodie.
Is
Scott,
a
what
good-
you got?
I have specifically written here, the lobster roll reigns supreme.
Okay.
So,
Yeah,
I concur.
agree. I agree
Yeah,
with
it's
that.
great.
Rob?
Mine is, this is a classic that I get every time. It's been here for years. Shrimp and grits is from Flower and Garden. It's at the Sunshine Griddle. Shrimp, grits, corn salsa. Just delicious.
kiss.
Yes.
Okay. Holly, what about you?
I went with the Flower and Garden Festival, and I went with the lavender honey mustard marinated chicken flatbread.
Oh.
Where was that from?
I can't.
Honey Bistro.
Honey Bistro.
Oh, okay.
Honey Bistro.
Very light, especially like on a hot day. It's not like heavy when you're eating it. So I went with that
Sounds
one.
good.
It was
I just got the
delicious.
play on words of Honey Bistro.
Honey Bee.
Honey Bee.
Bistro?
Honey Bistro. They don't spell it like that.
No, they do.
They do? B-E-E,
I
Stro?
think it even has
Yeah.
a hyphen, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, well, never mind.
Yeah. Well, how about that?
Well, then it was
Well,
right in
see you
front of me, and I
later.
still didn't notice it.
All right. So next up, we have the resort of the year. And Matt, we'll start with you.
I went with one that was already in the top resorts, one of our favorite resorts collectively, and that's the Polynesian Resort. It's still great. It got a much needed facelift this year. I think that all of them were, for the most part, additive. They got the new facade. They had some updates thematically to the monorail station. And then I was take it or leave it on this. I didn't stay in these rooms, but they got those new Moana themed rooms. They look fine. I mean, they're okay, but I just
Matt, like, clearly, in my mind, it's so clear that you Googled this. You were like, what happened at the Polynesian Resort this year?
Well,
I
actually,
meant for you.
no, what was funny
'cause
is
there's no way, because half of that construction wasn't done when we were there.
Right, I know, but that added to it. But I mean, I always have a good time at the Polynesian. We always end up there at some point, eating food, getting good drinks, and I just think it's beautiful there, and I think it's just the additions are welcome. So.
Yeah, I agree. What you got, Scott?
Okay. While all other resorts across Disney were exorbitantly priced and sold out, the Swan and Dolphin continued to be accessible and affordable and awesome.
Yep.
So to me, Swan specifically was the one I stayed in most this year. Just that to me is the resort of the year, just because of accessibility. Everything else was tough to get.
Mm-hmm. You're right. Rob, what was yours?
I likewise with Matt, Polynesian Village Resort. Stay there. DVC rooms are incredible. That DVC pool was. We had never, in all the trips we've taken, we never did a real pool day of
That
sit there.
DVC pool is amazing.
Yeah,
Yes.
really great.
The bar there, the bartender was fantastic.
And they have
It's-
like real food and drinks. It's not
Yeah,
like abbreviated.
Exactly. They had burgers, they had wings, a whole bunch of different stuff. And like I said, we had never taken a full pool day. And it was just, our friends came that were with us and brought the kids over, and they were fun just watching them run around. But and then Tambu Lounge, and that you could get that the bread pudding from Ohana, which was awesome. Watching the fireworks from the beach there is just it's like I said, if you could take it and put it in Epcot.
They had the music piped in for the fireworks too, which was really nice.
Yeah.
So you're just like not watching just fireworks.
Yeah.
So
We went to Trader Sam's this year too.
that is
The
yes.
reopening of Trader Sam's,
Yeah.
which was nice too. All right, Hall, what do you have?
I mean, I'm not going to say much because Matt and Rob pretty much said everything. I went with the Polynesian just because we were there. Rob and I were there for our July trip, and it's just so beautiful. The ambiance, the feel. I felt really relaxed.
Yeah, I love the Polynesian. I feel the same way. My resort of the year, I'm with Scotty. This is the first time I've ever stayed at the Swan was this year.
Really?
So I had to make it. I don't have many resorts left, and that is one I can cross off the list in 21. All right. So the next is the Middle Finger Award, and Scott, we start
Oh,
with
boy.
you.
How fitting.
How appropriate.
Little sunshine over
This
there.
Yeah, I'm not a negative person, honestly. This is actually a very specific Middle Finger Award, and it goes to a beverage outside of what's the bar, the Indiana Jones bar, Jock Lindsay's Hangar Bar.
Okay.
Outside of Jock Lindsay's Hangar Bar is a little stand, and they sell something called a Town Center Mule, which is Tito's lime juice topped with Fever Tree ginger beer. Do not get the Town Center Mule. It is vomit in a glass. It tastes horrible. It gave me immediate heartburn, and it is probably the first drink in like 20 years that I have thrown out the majority of a drink.
You should do that as a topping it off. You should have done it just to warn people.
Well,
know?
I'm warning now.
Okay, the warning is now. All right, Rob, where's your middle finger going?
Something that doesn't even exist yet.
Oh boy.
The Galactic Star Cruiser.
Oh boy.
And everything associated with the pricing, the rollout of it.
Amen. I agree.
I hope it
Fails.
I hope it
Fails.
crashes.
Yes.
Literally,
figuratively, yes.
like the Imperial
Economically.
Star Destroyer into the Death Star.
Yes. That could be a potential 2-time winner. Because you could, if it opens in 2022, so
shoot.
somebody could certainly give it the award again.
Some of us would have to come into an inheritance to be able to afford
It's
it.
the
Yeah.
resort equivalent of Bob Chapek.
Yeah. Definitely.
Carry on, Hallie.
Okay, all right. Well, this segues to mine. I give the middle finger to the Bob Chapek.
Yeah.
He was my choice. So for a lot of reasons.
You're not alone.
Yeah.
Just don't like the direction of where the Disney company is going. So just gonna leave it as that.
I had Bob as an honorable mention, and I just put general price gouging. I mean, we saw price gouges everywhere, whether it was annual passes. That's maybe more than just a gouge. That's a full stab. And, you know, Lightning Lane, Disney Genie. Talked about the portion sizes getting smaller, which really means the food prices are going up. Just
Magical Express.
Magical Express. I mean, just everything this year, just like the little things really add up. Matt?
G plus, lightning lanes, up yours.
All right. Okay, so now we've got our in memoriam. So what will we miss the most?
Who's starting?
Rob.
I got two. So, Bob Iger. Last day was Thursday.
Yeah.
Truly gonna miss him. And we can already see the effects of him not being in charge.
Friend of the podcast.
And then second, yes, friend of the podcast. And secondly, this one really, really, really hurts. They got rid of the Must Do Disney in Stacy.
Stacy.
Yeah.
Go cry yourself a river.
I know. I am devastated. That is my go to fall asleep. That is just my. It tells me I'm on vacation at a Disney resort. So not having that is very disappointing.
I don't need Stacy and her age-inappropriate pigtails to tell me that I'm on vacation.
Her voice. Her voice. I need earplugs for that voice.
A summit?
I bet you could pull it up on YouTube and play
he
it.
has.
Scott.
You can and he has.
There's different versions.
But I mean, like when you get to Disney, just plug in your computer to your TV.
Yeah, I know.
Do a cast.
It's not the same.
It's not the same.
All right, Holly, what will you
All
miss
right.
the most this year?
The old fast pass system. I mean, if you think about it, like, you know, with COVID hit, they kind of took it away, but it's like officially it's
died this
it's-
year. It
it's
died this
gone.
year.
So
Yeah.
I'm gonna say old fast pass system.
I'm going to jump in because I said the same thing. I said the old fast passes. I feel like I always loved the 60-day pre-plan and then don't worry about it when you got to the day. I don't love the system of having to plan on the day and freak out about where you're going and how you're getting on. I didn't mind having to be prepared long ahead of time, but that's just my style, and I agree with you. I think that I'm going to miss that the most of all.
Yeah.
I will say, and since you're talking about that, I was probably the biggest defender of the new system, and I think I'd take the old system now after seeing it in action and how it works.
You don't say.
I can admit when I'm wrong.
Yeah,
Hey,
it's
that's
fair.
respect.
All right. Mine's the same as Rob. Bob Iger.
I'm gonna need that Sarah McLachlan song that
In
they.
the arms of the
But
Thanks,
it's
guys.
fine.
This is something that closed in official capacity on January 24th, 2021, and that is, of course, Sorcerers of the Magic Kingdom.
Oh boy. Yeah, but those sorcerer cards have just shot up in value.
I know, but
We have all our party cards.
I liked it.
Okay.
I liked Sorcerers of the Magic Kingdom. It was fun. I remember when that first came out. I remember Catherine and I having a ton of fun, just going around to the little keyholes. And it was,
I had always wanted to do that and never got the chance.
Oh, really?
well,
Yeah.
It was always good, when it was busy the rest of the day. Like, if the park was busy, which shocks me that they couldn't just update it and, play. It's something that eats people. I mean,
Yep. You guys got us hooked on it.
yeah, we got a lot of people hooked on it, I think.
yeah.
We were
R.I.P.
the
SOTMK.
All right.
Or one out.
Scott?
Oh, I gave you mine.
Oh,
Mine's
right,
fast
right.
passes.
Fast passes. Okay, so the best moment of the year. And Holly, are we going to start with you on that one?
Yes, I actually have two moments. The first moment was the day at the Polynesian pool. I mean, that was the highlight, I think, of that July trip for me. Mm-hmm. It was a lot of fun. And Geyser Point,
Oh, yeah.
and the trip, our December trip, that was probably one of my best trips too, because I felt like I truly disconnected myself. I didn't really post anything. I just was in the present at the moment. And
That's good.
Geyser Point,
Yeah, that was really fun.
that was, yeah. I wish I could have more of those
Yeah,
times.
yeah. That's awesome. All right, I'm gonna give an honorable mention first because Rob reminded me of it earlier, and I laughed so hard when this happened. A lady was in a rascal scooter in the line for Kilimanjaro safaris in
about this.
October, and she had a beer wedged in her
Oh.
steering wheel, and she couldn't brake on her rascal, so she just like tore through the queue, like running people over. And Rob quickly realized that it was her beer wedged in the acceleration.
I don't know if you did at first, or if you were more so just concerned about her
Saved
spilling the beer.
That was okay.
To be clear, Rob saved the beer,
Yeah.
not the
Yes.
woman.
Yes.
And the woman was saved by, by chance,
by the beer being gone.
by the grace of beer.
That was just that just made me LOL. But
That
I
was
think,
great.
It was a swift, pickup of the beer. He could have just chugged it
Yeah.
right there.
It was
Yeah.
beautiful. It was
It was,
very,
it was majestic.
very
uh,
graceful
It
swoop.
was.
Yeah, but I think I was trying to think back about what I really enjoyed this year, and I had 2 trips in particular with people that I had never been to Disney with before. And it's one of my favorite things because I like bringing the magic to others. I got to go with my niece and nephew for the first time this year. We've talked about this literally for a decade, taking them. Finally got to do that. Had a lot of fun. And our friend Keith, who has never been before, he was there in October, and man, he was just like so excited, just like a ball of energy, really excited for us to share what we really like about Disney World with him. And I think that's contagious and very magical, and that's like kind of reminds me, even after all these negative things, that I still like it, and there's a reason I go, and those are them.
Yep.
So.
Nice. I put down, Catherine and I spent our anniversary at Disney this year. We don't often get to do that.
I don't think we ever have.
We were down there. I know we both worked in the morning, and then we were able to leave, and we went to dinner at Narcoossee's, and it was really good. And then we went somewhere for dessert that we've been meaning to go to forever, and we just haven't been able to, and that was Beaches and Cream at the beach club. And we got some ice cream, and it was delicious, and it was just overall just a really great day. Honorable mention to Bros Night. When was that? It was October. We saw Harmonious opening night, right? Was that, or was that, no, not opening night. Sorry, it was the first time we saw it.
Harmonious.
Yeah.
But
We held hands, and
Yeah.
it was
yeah,
touching.
it was
It was
just the
lovely. It
dudes,
was a
just like
lovely
romantic fireworks viewing. It was nice.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ben, for missing it.
Yeah. Well, he wasn't anywhere mentally, so that's okay.
I forgot about that.
All right.
I can't believe that neither of you two took this one. My moment of the year is boating on Crescent Lake.
Oh,
What
that
a
was sick.
truly unique experience.
That was awesome.
I mean, being at the helm of a skiff,
rocking out to Kid Rock.
right, yeah, just blasting Kid Rock to the people on the pathway, waving at the other boat captains.
As God intended.
Yeah. It was,
Yeah.
that was, I highly recommend that, as we did before.
That was very fun. We will definitely do
I think
that
that's
again.
a must do for
That is
2022.
a must do. Rob.
Yeah, I had the Geyser Point, the Polynesian pool day, and then also we got to spend a weekend with friends of the pod, listeners of the pod, guests of the pod, the Frasers.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of fun. So didn't want to forget that one.
That's awesome. All right, so the last one is the resolution. The resolution, like this is the resolution of the podcast. What we're looking forward to this year. And I'm up, right?
You sure are.
All right. I don't know. I didn't feel super strongly about
Jeez.
this, but I'm going to turn this into a positive instead of a negative. I really want to see the end of some Epcot construction. Epcot is a shell of a park right now at the front, and I love the World Showcase. I'm mostly in the World Showcase, but dang, I hate being up in World Discovery and World Nature. I'm excited for some of those walls to come down, which I'm thinking they will.
I agree, and I'm going to dive deeper and get a little more specific to what you just said, Catherine, and I think I'm most excited for something that they've said is coming in summer of 2022, and that is Guardians of the Galaxy
Cosmic Rewind.
Cosmic Rewind. I'm excited for another roller coaster type ride in the dark. It looks awesome, and I'm very excited for it. I'm excited for another thrill attraction.
Good call. Mine was a little more general as far as resolutions, and I think it's just a mantra that I'm going to repeat to myself this year when I'm in the parks, and that's don't wait for things that aren't worth waiting for. So if there's, we waited this year for Rise of the Resistance because it was the first time, in this case, Keith had gotten on. Yeah. I don't think I'll be waiting for things like that again. I mean, I always wait because it's Disney and you have to wait, but I think I'm going to remind myself of, like, there's plenty of things to enjoy, whether it's getting a food item, getting a drink that isn't in a line. And I think that's something I'm going to try and remind myself of this year.
That's a good one. Rob?
Yeah, I struggle between the resolutions and the goals.
Yeah, they're very similar. They're very similar.
So mine, the resolutions, I figure are things that I know are going to happen. So I said, getting back to Disneyland and the D23 Expo, and then also Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. I didn't include Tron because
I don't know if it's coming
exactly.
this year. I was thinking about it too.
If there was any bit of news, there's speculation that could run into 2023,
which is wild. Yeah. But my thinking was exactly the same. At least they had it might get pushed back, but as of right now, they're saying summer 22. Whereas Tron, you don't have any.
From all indications, that ride is ready.
Guardians,
correct. The ride portion, I think they still have the building, the queue, and things like that. But I think the ride portion is complete.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Holly, what's your resolution?
I have a couple. First of all, same as my goal, just getting out west. Mm-hmm. Disneyland, Adventures Campus, D23. Another resolution I have for myself is to purchase less merchandise. Which I'm doing really good with that for the most part. You have to agree.
So far in the new year?
Well,
0 items bought.
You have certainly cut down.
Okay, yeah, I want to cut down a little bit more, and just being present in the parks and
that's an excellent goal.
Just enjoying the things that are surrounding me, and not just in parks and in life in general.
Man, that was a deep one for the last. Nice end there. Woo!
Just enjoy what's around you.
Yeah. It's also a good reminder for everything, even non-Disney related things.
For sure.
It's awesome.
For sure.
All right. Anything else? Anybody on our topic?
Last calls.
Yeah. Any last calls?
No?
Good. I've had to pee since 20 minutes into this podcast.
I gotta go too, so.
Yeah, I do too.
My energy just
I'll go out in the backyard. All right.
I'm gonna go in Scott's car.
Well, cheers, everyone.
Thanks.
Cheers. Thank you for listening to WDW Happy Hour. Please like us on Facebook and feel free to follow us on Instagram and Twitter. If you enjoy the podcast, we encourage you to share by telling your friends and also writing a nice review on iTunes. Cheers.